Welcome back. Today we will be discussing how to use Google Calendar specifically for students in Arlington Public Schools. Alright, so this is your APS Google Calendar when you get right into it first. So this is just the way we're going to start. So as you can see, I'm in my APS account right here. And to the left, we have my calendars. You're going to have your name, birthdays, and then reminders, as well as holidays in the United States. So quickly what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid by unsubscribing from this birthdays one, just because birthdays aren't necessary for your keeping track with your assignments in your school calendar. So after I've done that, what I'm going to do is quickly go to see where it says add a coworker's calendar. I'm going to click this plus button and click new calendar. And what we're going to do is we're going to make calendars for each of your classes. So I prefer, instead of doing all my classes, to just do overall areas of study. So I'm first going to start with history/social studies. And then in the description, I'm just going to put some history class. I'm going to put 9 here. So in grade 9, I took World History Intensified. 10, EP Government. 11, IB History of the Americas, Detail Part 1. 12, IB Topics in the 20th Century, HL Part 2. All right. So that's what I have. Leave everything else here the same. You're just going to create this calendar. Now quickly, if we were to go to configure right here, it's going to come up with all this information. You don't need to change any of this information unless you want notifications each time. So then I'm going to go back and you can see it pops up here. So we're just going to do the same thing for all your general areas of study. English. I'm just going to leave these blanks because I think you get the point. So English, I'm just going to create another calendar. For math, and then another calendar for psychology. This would go under social studies, but I'm going to leave it separately. And just a quick side note, while I put in the rest of my classes, things like psychology or business I'm putting now are electives, so you can just replace this with anything. Then we're going to make this PE/health. Then I'm going to put science. And then in addition to that, so you can see here all the classes I have, I'm actually going to put other things that I do. For example, I'm going to put GP and lunch as one. And now I'm going to put a couple clubs that I'm in sports teams. So we'll just do a couple that are kind of popular. National Honor Society. And then I'm going to put DECA. And I have more clubs, but I'm just going to stick with a couple for now. And then finally, here I'm going to put cross country/track for sports. All right, so all of mine are made. All of these calendars are made. So I'm going to go back here now. And as you can see, all of these ones here are showing up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code these, and you can color code these however you would like. So I'm just going to do them the way I make my calendar. So I'm going to make my actual name, which is like random events, if you will, or just events that aren't under a specific class. And I'm just going to go ahead and make that white. And then I'm going to go ahead and make DECA this bright blue. Or I'm sorry, business that bright blue. And then I'm going to make DECA this dark blue. I'm going to make my English yellow And like I said before, there's no wrong or right way to do this. GP or lunch, I'm going to make gray. History and social studies, I'm going to make red. Math, I'm going to make orange. National Honor Society, I'm going to go ahead and make brown. PE and health, I'm going to make pink. Psychology, I'm going to make this light, bright blue. I'm going to also make my reminders white, and you'll see why reminders are helpful in a moment. So as I was showing you here, you can pick from those colors, or you can also just pick by hex code or through this grid. Science, I'm going to make this green, and track, I'm going to make purple. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead, holidays and days, I suggest you keep this. I'm just gonna go ahead and make it this birch color. All right, so as you can see here, I have all my calendars, and these are just the classes I take. All right, so next up, what we're going to do is we are going to make your block schedule. So what I'm actually gonna do here is flash forward all the way to the beginning of the school year. I'm quickly going to go to September 2nd, right here. And as we can see, Labor Day is on that 3rd, which means school will start on that 4th. So because these days are generally generals days, which means you have neither W nor L classes, you just have each of your classes every single day. I'm gonna go to the next week, and I'm going to start on September 10th. So what I'm going to start with is creating my first period. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this plus button right here, create event, and I'm going to create one of my classes. So let's say my first period of the day. So I'm going to start with my first period. So let's say my first period is Intro to Business and Marketing. I'm going to change this to September 10th because that's the Monday. As this is my first period, it's going to be from 8:19 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to click does not repeat, and I'm going to click every weekday. And then I go back to that, and I'm going to click custom. And what I'm going to do is click on, and then I'm going to find a date here for the end of the school year. So as we can see, let's say it's June 12th. So I'm gonna copy and paste this so I can quickly paste that for the other events that we do. All right, done. Location. Here, put whatever room it's gonna be in. That's just. Then I'm gonna get rid of the notification because I personally don't want a notification every time a class begins. I'm gonna go here to business because that's my overall class. Here's some information I can put. Room number again, teacher, and then any other information. All right. And then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is click save. And as you can see here, this is all showing up, and it's gonna continue to show up every single week until the week of June 12th, where it only shows up to the 12th. And then the rest of your summer is completely empty. So I'm quickly going to go back. So I'm back at this week. And as you can see, this is all here. So next we're gonna do our next class, our third period class. So let's say my third period class is Algebra 2. Remember, we want to start on September 10th. And this is going to go from 9:45 a.m. to 10:36 a.m. And I'm going to once again click does not repeat, and I'm going to go to every weekday, and then I'm go to custom, and I'm just going to click on, and then I'm just going to paste in that day. So June 12th, 2019. Click that and we're done. Gonna get rid of that notification. Going to go here and put this under math. And then once again, You can put any information you need to in these details. And the room number. So let's put room 4210. These are random room numbers. And then I'm going ahead and save this. Once again, this is popping up every single day. So next, we're gonna do our generals period. So I'm gonna put generals period here. And then maybe you're in 9th grade, so I'm just gonna put a 9 there. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did before. Except I'm going to make the time 10:36 a.m. to 11:19 a.m. And I'm going to go to every weekday, custom, on, and paste that date in real quick. Done. Location, room 2004, let's say. Make this GP and lunch. And then in this 9th, you can put who your teacher is. You can go ahead and put your Connect mentors if you're a freshman. And then any info you need to put as well. You can go ahead and save that. Perfect, look at that. We have our first 2 classes plus our GP. And now we are going to put in one of your lunches. So I suggest start with your W day lunch. So let's say on W days, I have a lunch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a lunch in. I'm gonna have this start on September 10th. And I know that my A lunch goes from 11:19 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you don't need to put a location. I don't need a notification. I'm just gonna go here, GP lunch. And then we're going to make sure that we go to every weekday, go to custom, and put in that date again. And save. Perfect, now that shows up. So now we can do our next class. And I'm gonna show you quickly with our next class, a quick way we can do this if you have a class after a lunch as well as your 6th and 7th period. So you also have the option of just dragging this and creating an event from here. So because this next class, your 5th period, might go from 12 to 1:30, you can just drag it quickly like that and just create an event real quick. My 5th period is English 9 intensified. And then I'm just going to quickly click English and save. And that's just gonna pop up that one day. Your other option is to click this button here so you can add your repeating schedule. So I'm gonna go to custom. Then you can also just click Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then put in that date. And done. And then I'm quickly going to put in my last period. If you mess up like that, because my next class starts at 1:30, you can just go ahead and put 1:30 as your starting time. And just make sure if you change the front end, you also change the back end. And so this class is the health/PE 9. Let's go with that. And then I'm going to change this so it's PE/health. And then I'm going to save. So that's there. I'm just going to quickly edit that so it shows up every single day. Perfect. Now let's just say this is your entire W day schedule. Well, obviously you don't have W days every single day. So I'm going to quickly show you how to add your L days as well. And this should be pretty straightforward. So once again, we're going to go in here and we're going to do your 2nd period, which is at the beginning of the day. And we're going to go ahead and make this your AP psychology class. And you're going to have this start on the 10th, going from 8:19 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. It's going to repeat every weekday until June 12th. You do not want a notification, and this is going to go under psychology. And then we're just going to quickly save that. So as you can see here, these two are right next to each other because they're the exact same time slot. So after you have either first or second period, your third period will be the same, and so will GP. But let's just say you have B lunch on L days. So what you're gonna have to do for this one is we're going to create a first part, then B lunch, then a second part of class. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an event, and we're gonna say this is physics. We're going to make this start on September 10th from 11:19 a.m. to 12:07 p.m. We're going to make sure this repeats every weekday until, shocker, June 12th. Then we're going to get rid of that notification and just put that under science and save. Perfect. So now you have physics here. And then what we're going to do is create B lunch. So B lunch, starting on September 10th, we're going to have go from 12:07 p.m. to 12:47 p.m. Repeating every weekday until we get to June 12th. And we're gonna put this under GP and lunch and save. Great, now we have B lunch. So in here, we're gonna put the second part of physics. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put physics, September 10th, to go from 12:47 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. We're going to get rid of that notification and make it science and have it repeat every weekday until June 12th. And save. Perfect. Now quickly here, what we can do again, just from 1:30 to 3 p.m., IB History of the Americas, HL Part 1. That's a mouthful, but it's okay. You only have to type it once. And then you're gonna click more options here. And we are just going to make sure that repeats every weekday till June 12th. Perfect. Now these did switch. So let's just say that your W day was Intro to Business, Algebra 2, GP, A lunch, English 9 Intensified, and Health/PE 9. Then on L days, you had AP Psychology, Algebra 2, GP 9, Physics, B lunch, Physics again, and then IB History of the Americas, Part 1. Now what you're going to do is, since you don't have W and L days every day, you're just going to delete the ones you don't have that day. So let's say Monday the 10th is a W day. What you're going to do is you're going to delete everything you don't have that day. So you can do this by first clicking the class you don't have, clicking the trash button, and then just clicking this event. So that's your first option. Or what you can do is click it and then click delete on your keyboard and then enter real quick. So that'll be a swifter motion. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and just do 1, 2 for each of the ones you don't have. And the reason I choose to do this instead of just making every event every other day is because, as you can see here, one day you might end up having Columbus Day and there's no school that day. And if you make everything go every other day, then it's going to be shifted when this was supposed to be a W day, but since you made this an L day, it's going to mess up. So I'm going to quickly go back to where I was before and finish deleting the rest of the wrong days. So everything I had the day before, I know that I need to delete, except for 3rd and GP. All right, so as you can see here, I am left with my calendar for the rest of the week. If this was a W day, this was L, W, L, and W. And the way you can find out this is by going to the W and L calendar and actually going right here. And then as you can see, during that month, it's going to say WL, so on. It's just going to tell you what those days are. So we're going to go back to our calendar now, and I'm going to add in other events I may have. So, for example, I know that from 3:30 to 4:45, I have track or cross-country practice, okay? So I'm just going to go to more options real quickly. And what I'm going to do is I know it's from 3:30 to 4:45, and I know that I'm going to make a custom one. It's every single day except for Wednesday, because Wednesday we have meets. And I know that the season is going to end on November 9th. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to keep my notification, and I'm going to make it for 15 minutes so I know I'm not going to be late to practice, and I'm going to go and put XC and track here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that, and that pops up every single day every single weekday except for Wednesdays. And then what I'm going to do is I know that we have a meet on a specific day. So I'm going to go to the WNL Athletics calendar. So here's Generals Athletics, click the calendar, and I can go here and this is May, but I can click on whatever date and I know that all the sports will come up. So for example, the day I'm currently in today, there's only a track meet. I know when that is. So this is gonna tell me A means away, right? The orange, away, 4:30, this is the name of the meet and this is where it's gonna be. Just for reference, this is what it looks like for different teams. It says at our school or at WNL, you know, it's a home game, things like that. So let's say that I have a track meet that starts according to the WNL calendar from 5 and goes to 8. And I know that this is going to be the Burke Lake Park meet. And then I'm going to click more options, and I'm going to make sure that maybe I don't need a notification for this. I'm going to go to XC and track. I know that that's right. Perfect. So in the Berkeley Park meets there. But I also know that the bus ride is from 3:30 to 4:30. So I'm going to go bus to meet. I'm just going to go ahead and make that XC track. And I'm going to save that. But I actually know that no matter where the meet is, I always have this on Wednesdays. So I'm going to go weekly on Wednesday until November 9th. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. As you can see here, I have practice, bus to meet, then the actual meet, practice. And if I go to the next week, the same thing without the meet. Let's just say this meet maybe goes from 5:30 to 8:30. This one is the Lake Fairfax meet. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this in XC track. I'm gonna go to more options. Maybe this is the name of my meet. I'm going to put Lake Fairfax Park. I'm gonna put my description, warm up at this time, meet at this time, bib number at this. All right, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and save that. So you can keep doing the same thing for your meets. And then quickly show you Saturday, 8 to 4, you have the Monroe Parker Invitational. And that's just going to be XC track. And then I'm just going to put here, leave school bus ride. And I'm gonna put that there as well. So I know I need to be at school by 6 a.m. All right, so that's what I have for my sports and for my block schedule. Now I'm gonna add some of my clubs in. Let's say Monday from 3 to 3:30. I'm just gonna change that from 3 to 3:30. I know I have a National Honor Society meeting. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that my National Honor Society calendar. And then on Thursday, I know that I have my DECA meeting. And maybe this goes from 3 to 4. Now I'm gonna show you quickly how you can enter things you have for exams in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to flash forward all the way to the first week of May 2019. As you can see, I have all my W days and all my L days here because you never know if there's going to be a teacher work day and then your W and L days are switched. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to the IBO calendar and I'm going to see here that the first week of May, the history exam, we are History HL Paper 3. That's Wednesday, May 8th in the morning. So I'm gonna go here to Wednesday, May 8th in the morning. But maybe I don't know exactly what time it is going to be yet. So I'm going to go here and say IB History Paper 3 exam. I'm just gonna go ahead and put morning. Then I'm going to just put history here. And then my AP class is AP Psychology. So I'm going to go to the College Board. I'm going to find out when the AP Psychology exam is right here. Afternoon of Thursday, May 9th. And this says 12 noon. So I know exactly what time it starts. And I can put here Psychology exam. And then I can either put afternoon here and then go under Psychology and leave it like that so it pops up. Or I also have the option of putting the exact time. So I know it starts at 12 and then I don't know how long it goes. So I'm just gonna put till 3, assuming I would be out of school. And then I can go like that. And that's going to pop up here. Now I suggest you leave it up here because it's easier to see when you have all this clutter of your schedules. And then if you know you have this in the morning, then maybe you know that when this ends from 12 to 3, if you are a junior or senior, will be your general's rest period. You can leave that under your name if you want. And there you go. You know, you don't have to go to your classes, but you still have to make up the work. Other option is your teacher or someone in the counseling office will send you the IB and AP exam schedule for your week. It is there. So if you remember from the very beginning of the video, we had here your name, reminders, and birthdays. And we got rid of birthdays because we didn't feel it was necessary, but we still have reminders here. And now I'm going to share with you why this is so useful. So first, let's just say here I have my IB History Paper 3 exam in the morning. So here I have the option to make an event, but I can also click reminder. And here what I can put is study for History Paper 3. So I have that, and I'm just gonna leave it how it is now and save that. So now it's here. And then I'm also gonna put study for AP Psych exam, because I also need to do that. And I'm gonna make sure that's a reminder. And when you have more than one reminder, it's just gonna count the reminders and put them here. And when you have these, you have the option to either edit these and go back to what they were before, or you can delete them, or you can check them off when you're done with them. So if I check that off, then you can see only the one I haven't done shows up. And if I mark this one as done as well, then it's gonna disappear. Now, if you do not complete this task, or you don't mark it as done or check it off on this date, May 7th, 2019, it's going to shift over to the next day. And if you don't complete this day, it's going to shift over to the next day. And you don't have to do anything. This is how it just automatically is. Here I have study for AP exam. Maybe I'm going to add make lunch night before. So I have the option to make that a reminder here. So it's going to pop up here. But what I can also do is scroll down here on this night at 9 to 9:30, and I can make a reminder here, make lunch. So you have all of these options in terms of setting reminders, and these will give you notifications just like your event notifications. Now if you click here, this is just going to create an event. It's not going to create an actual reminder. So this is the way you're going to create a reminder. And when you go here to your schedule, reminders are going to show up here. So if you've checked this off, it's just going to show up that, and that's going to show up. So that's just another helpful way that you are able to utilize this Google Calendar to help you study. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching.